Everybody goes like, how are you quitting your job in a pandemic? I said, I'm going to write a book about 8 steps on how to quit your job during a pandemic.
This week on The Boss Lady.
I walk into the place, I'm literally the youngest person in that institution.
Beauty and brains is what we're about this week.
Don't tell people your plans.
Do you believe in affirmations?
I got in there at 4 branches. I've left the bank at 18 branches.
Believe it or not, this is how Pamela planned her exit.
So my mom reminds me, I had told her on December 23rd, you'll leave.
This and much more later on The Boss Lady. So stick around. Picture this. It's the year 2020, a year when over 1.7 million people have lost their jobs and source of livelihoods out of an employed number of over 25 million by the second quarter. So what prompts you to leave your job in the midst of a pandemic? Later on The Boss Lady.
My name is Pamela Mutembei-part. I am the founder of This Girl Boss Hustle, and this is The Boss Lady.
It had been a few years of following this woman's journey, and to sit with her at the table and share a meal was more than I had bargained for when I asked Pam to share her secrets and her journey with me. With more than 14 years under her belt as a banking professional, Pamela Mutembei-part has progressively grown with every role. Enriched in a wealth of experiences, she is a natural leader, expertly able to direct customer service in the financial industry, as will later be proven in this episode. With a Bachelor of Commerce degree, Strategic Management in a Global Economy from London School of Economics and various professional certificates in leadership and business management, including a Harvard Business School workshop on value innovation, Pamela has created a niche for herself in the banking industry, earning her a nomination for 2015's Rising Star Award, which she became a semi-finalist. Apart from that, she was also awarded Champion of Change for Women in the Workplace at the 2019 Women in Business Awards Gala. As we sit down for this interview, she tells me she has retired her banking career at the humble age of just 41. But where did she start from?
Mindemwahood.
Hi! Fantastic.
Bontao. I was born in Nairobi, in Eastleigh to be precise. Yeah, so when I say hood, then nimetoka hood for real.
For real, California.
Yeah. For real, Kabisa, 12th Street. So that's where I grew up. That's where I went to primary school in St. Teresa's. So the funny thing about me, I've gone to only girls' schools. Can you imagine? All my life. I don't know if it was deliberate by my parents and everything, but so I was in a girls' school in primary school, a girls' school in high school, and even in college, because I went to college outside the country, it was a girls' college because it's a very conservative part of the country where I studied in India. So it was a girls' college only, so you can imagine. That's my background. I am the firstborn in my family.
How many kids are you?
We're 4, 2 boys, 2 girls. I think I'm my dad's favorite. No, I think I know.
She knows she's her dad's favorite. You know, that's a lot of confidence.
My mom is very strict, still is. My dad lets me do whatever I want to do. So as I said, it was good for me because there's some balance. I was free to pursue anything I wanted, but I still had limitations. I mean, I still had to be held a bit back because I am a restless spirit, I think. I'm always searching, I'm always wanting to know things. I want to find out how things work, how things are done and everything. So yeah, I think the strictness of my mom was important because probably I would have explored a bit
A
too
bit
much.
too much, yes,
Yeah.
yes. You
Yeah.
can go overboard. So you went to St. Teresa's
Yeah.
for primary school.
Yes.
High school,
St. George's.
St. George's Girls.
Yeah, yeah.
You're really a bontao.
Kabisa.
Okay. And then I cleared St. George's. Then what next?
There I went to university. I went to university in India because my parents felt like that 1 year of me staying, you know, those days were in campus, you had to stay out 1 year before you went into campus. We didn't have the, I should say I'm 41, so when I say those days.
Oh, you look really nice for me.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a very strict skincare regimen. Yeah, so we had to stay like 1 year and a half before we went into campus. So yeah, I did get the grades for the campus because again, as I said, my mom was strict. Yeah, but and then I had an auntie who was there at the embassy in India, so it was comfortable for me to go there and study there. And the university there is only 3 years, so I cut my time for my peers with 2 years. You see, by the time they were finishing, I was already 2 years ahead, yeah? So I guess it was a head start. So even there, I went to a girls' college, imagine.
In India?
A girls' college. Yeah.
What was the plan?
I know, right? What were they trying to make out of me, a nun?
Malisa masomo kwanza, get your degree, and then you'll focus on the rest later. I guess we celebrate them for that. Interesting background, don't you think? Here are some of the things you didn't know about Pam. So having stayed in India for 3 years for her undergrad, Pamela came back home. But was the transition into the job market difficult?
I could say I was lucky. I didn't look for a job too long. I think I came back in November. In January, I already started work. Yeah, my first job was at CBA, now it's NCBA. Yeah. And it was a tailoring job. I don't like to discount humble beginnings because it's where you learn so much when you start from down there. But I promise you, it's hard work. It is a lot of hard work. That job that you see people doing was a lot of hard work.
What was so hard about it?
It's so many people that you serve. In a day, you could serve like 300, 400 people. Those are very many diverse personalities.
Of course. So you meet every type of person, from the angry ones, the calm ones, the ones who don't even want to talk to you.
And it's all your fault.
That's right.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So for how long did you stay?
So I couldn't do that for too long, as I said, because I'm always looking for something more. At the counter, one of my clients was an MD of another bank. Yeah, and he used to come often. So he asked me if I would be interested to join that other bank. And I said, yeah, why not? But he told me it's not a bank like, CBA is a big bank, posh bank, nice bank. His was, back then, was a small institution. They're trying to start out. They just come out of receivership. It was not in a very stable place. So when I was still living at home. Have I told you I lived at home until I got married? Anyway.
Oh, that's good. It's the African way of doing things.
Yeah?
Which is okay.
No, I think you should get your kids, get out of the house.
I don't know, Mom. I feel like it's okay.
It's okay.
Because I've seen how people get messed up out there when you're not allowed, when you're given that freedom,
Yeah.
You go live by yourself without marriage. Yeah. It's a bit tricky, especially for women. Yeah. When you move out of your parents' house before getting married, it's really tricky. So
I've been sheltered, yeah. Grown up sheltered. Deeply loved, that's what I say. I'm my dad's favorite. So it's a nice thing. I got to join that other place, but I remember coming home and telling my parents that, oh, yeah, so I'm gonna work at another place. They asked me, where is that? They didn't even know Chase Bank then, it was Chase Bank. Like, where is that? I said, no, they're on 6th floor in some building. I know. But I think, looking back, that was the best decision I ever made for my career.
Aren't you scared? Because you're moving from an institute, or rather an establishment that is already wamejipanga.
Eh,
You understand?
yeah.
Now you're going
Yeah.
to a place where you're not so sure.
Yeah.
You don't know about your job security.
Yeah.
What gave you the confidence to just up and leave?
That particular MD, he was aggressive, he was young, and I think I was still young enough to make my mistakes. I mean, you know, when you're young enough, you have room to make your mistakes.
Yes.
You can always change your mind later. But then, if I had not gone there, I don't even know where I would be. Yeah.
Okay.
So
you checked in?
I checked in, and as I said, why it's the best decision I ever made is because since it was a small place, and it was a growing place because they had this vision, they wanted to be big. I had every opportunity to learn everything. So it's in Chase Bank that I worked in almost all the departments of a banking institution, everywhere. I worked in customer service, I worked in treasury, and I got to start my own department as well in personal banking. So what I say is why it's the best decision I ever made. I met my husband
Okay.
in Chase Bank.
You guys used to work together.
Imagine.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that. What happened?
Yeah.
Who hit on who?
It wasn't me for sure. Like, please look at this. Yeah. So look at me now.
How many years later?
10.
10 good years.
Yeah,
That's a blessing.
I know.
So, how long did you stay in Chase Bank?
So I stayed in Chase Bank for 5 years. And as I said, this was exciting, never a boring moment, because I said I'm a person who likes to, I'm always doing. Because I got to do so many things there. I learned so much, different departments, different things, and I learned how to sell. See, now in the world we live in, it's about selling. So even now, currently when I'm doing my business, I learned a lot of those things from there. And that time the bank was the premier entrepreneur bank. So they served a lot of business people. I made great networks. I met a lot of people who I also learned how to do business from. I started my own personal company in 2012 because of all those things that I had seen and I knew, yeah, I mean, I can have a career and I can also do other things, yeah, for additional income.
We take a breather now, but when we come back, Pamela recounts her journey at Credit Bank and much more. Don't move a muscle.